In the beautiful city of Birmingham that is bathed in sunshine as we get set for more WSL action coming your way as Birmingham City gets set to take on the visitors Manchester United. Two rather different starts to the WSL campaign a week ago. Birmingham City beaten on the road against Brighton in a rather frustrating affair for the visitors down to the south coast. Manchester United in an exhilarating 1-1 draw against Chelsea on home soil last week, and a fine performance to start the campaign for Casey Stoney's side, but they will feel that there is still more to come, that's for sure. There are new faces that hope to take Manchester United to new places in the WSL this season, and with three more joining Casey Stoney's side this week, the Red Devils has certainly set out their stall for the campaign, and they are not just here to make up the numbers. The first away trip of the season brings them to the Sport Nation .bet Stadium to face Birmingham City as new boss Carla Ward looks to prevent the mishaps of last season that saw today's hosts floundering towards the foot of the table. An improvement on the loss last week against Brighton is not only important for the Blues, but it's imperative so they can show that a repeat of the last campaign is not on the cards for this season. The home side just going through their final warm-ups, the starting 11 that has three changes made from last week's loss against Brighton. Rachel Corsie is making her club debut for her new side. She comes into the back line, replacing Jamie Lee Napier, who was starting on that right wing of the attack last week. Sarah Mayling, who was playing right back a week ago, moves into that right side of the front three. Emma Kelly is one of the other new arrivals to the starting 11 today. She replaces Constance Schofield on the other side of Sarah Mayling, those two flanking Claudia Walker. And it's a debut as well for the former Manchester United player Molly Green in the heart of the pitch, making a debut against her former club. She replaces Chloe McLaren and will sit alongside Lucy Whipp and Christy Murray in the midfield. For Manchester United, as I say, just one change from their draw a week ago against Chelsea. Dutch midfielder Jackie Groenen takes Heli Ladd's spot in the heart of midfield. She'll anchor things alongside captain Katie Zellum, with Ella Toone and Leah Galton providing the service for Jane Ross up front. New signing and England international Alessia Russo is on the bench, will potentially make her debut today, while the American duo that signed in midweek, the US women's national team players Kristen Press and Tobin Heath, are only here in a watching capacity this afternoon, but they were warming up with the first team before today's kickoff. Katie Zellum, the United captain, meeting Christy Murray there in the centre circle. Zellum, a commander in the heart of the midfield for the away side. Fist bumps only, of course, between the officials and the players. It will be United to get us underway. Both sets of players here before kickoff will show their support of the Black Lives Matter social movement. Both clubs and the WSL showing their lack of tolerance for racism in any sort, in any part of our society. As United get us going, and the captain Zellum hoiks it forward straight away. Safely collected by Hannah Hampton, the young goalkeeper. between the posts this afternoon for Birmingham City. She'll have Georgia Broom and Rachel Coursey ahead of her, alongside Holloway and Harriet Scott. There's that back line for Birmingham City that will expect to be under a fair bit of pressure. United showed last week that they have plenty of pace in their attack, particularly on the counter. They left it late to get their equaliser on home soil against Chelsea, but Ella Toone, an inspiring run down the right flank. Really highlighted the blistering pace that United possess. Galton with the finish. Able to spare their blushes on the opening day of the campaign. It's a cracking ball forward by Abby McManus. Able to pick out a target. Galton couldn't bring it under control. Straight away, the away side taking immediate control of this contest. Looking to dominate possession. That's a slightly wayward pass that Kirsty Smith has to race back onto. Hansen able to bring it under control. Toone gives it inside. The Spaniard on a battle. Gives it down that left flank. Galton waiting down towards the byline, but it's just slightly overcooked. Behind and out of play for a goal kick. The Birmingham City manager, Carla Ward, was saying that United will pose a threat as they play their expansive style of football. And her side really have to trust the process that she's trying to bring into this side, taking control of Birmingham City at the start of this year. They're going to have to be really disciplined this afternoon and execute their game plan to ensure they pick up any sort of points from this tie. Holly Green trying to push forward, but thwarted before she can get towards the final third. As United steady themselves, Toone laying it off, and Smith rolling it back. Trying to play possession football. That's a slightly high boot from Jane Ross. Ross frustrated with the decision. Some of the United players thought the whistle had gone their way. Rachel Coursey stood over this, making her debut, as I say, for Birmingham City today, on loan from the Utah Royals. Certainly won't be out of her depth at all in the WSL in terms of the standard of play. The 31-year-old has plenty of experience, had time in Scotland and playing in Notts County as well, including in the 2014 WSL season. Murray, the captain, trying to lead by example. Holloway, neat knock inside. Murray once more, bit of space on the edge of the box. Green fancies a go. It's a tame effort though. First touch for Mary Earps. See there, Claudia Walker all alone up front. She might have a bit of a lonely afternoon at times. She will chase everything down that she can, try and hold up possession to allow the others behind her, like Green, like Lucy Whipp as well, that likes to roam about, although taking very much the defensive midfield role in the early exchanges here. Long ball over the top once again. Might find its target as the keeper came, Hampton, and didn't really get there. It's mopped up eventually by Coursey. Hansen lays it back. And that's the opener for United. Far too easy as Jane Ross opens her account for the season in the WSL. Persistence paid off from Kirsty Hansen, and it was a simple delivery from Ella Toone into Ross, who just glanced the header past Holly Hampton. Hampton will feel perhaps that she should have done a little better Not much pace on the header, beaten by the accuracy. Perhaps more growing pains for a young goalkeeper. Has just been called up to the England side, of course, Hannah Hampton. There's a mistake at the other end of the pitch as well. Birmingham look to try and capitalise, and they get nothing but a corner from it. An immediate reply would be golden. Big shout for handball, nothing given. It's difficult to see from our position. There are plenty of blue shirts around it that were appealing. Anyway, dealing with the danger, it's then scooped forward. Kelly chasing it down, but shrugging her shoulders in frustration there as it was just moved away from her. United move out to that far side. There's a Spanish fullback once more. Now a chance for a delivery from Galton. It's a vicious ball in. Seemed destined for Ella Toon, but collected by Hampton. Battle. Zellum gives it away. Green closing down, but she's easily skipped away from by Battle. Toon on the edge of the box. First touch just let her down slightly. United will restart once again. Hansen whips it in. Cleared away, but another corner to come to test the Birmingham defence.
Goal scorer for Manchester United, number 19, Jane Ross.
You see the away side trying to crowd out the young goalkeeper. She does well to get a hand to it. Found safe passage through the busy bodies. Still not safe yet, though, for Birmingham City. Galton making himself available. And she is now. Here's the Dutch woman, Jackie Groenen. Little lift inside to Jane Ross. She's beaten off the ball and it's thumped away from danger. There is a moment of respite suddenly for the Birmingham defensive line. Able to beat two on that far side as she leaves defenders in her wake, Galton. Of course, he gets a vital foot in. Corner to come. And once more, everybody moving pretty much into the 6-yard box. Only two remain on the periphery of the penalty area. She's looped in towards that far post, and there's a push in the back. Millie Turner was the one who was impeding her marker, and she raced onto that. So home side tried to play it out from the back before resorting to that long ball over the top. Couldn't find Walker. It's picked up though by Emma Kelly. Malin gives it over once more, but they're working backwards before they can move forwards right now. Very physical down there. Harriet Scott was battling for the ball. She is the offender. Aaron Galton had a couple of exchanges already in the opening few minutes. Could be a fun battle to watch. Toon lost it in the air above her. Again though, the red shirts come out of the busy pile with possession, and it is Toon trying to feed it out to that far side. Murray needed somewhere to go and needed some support as well. She found an outlet through Kelly and she's immediately snuffed out. Galton's in behind here. It could be two for United. Saved by Hampton. Birmingham carved open easily once more. Another good crossfield ball to pick out the diagonal run from the winger. This time Hampton adept to it with a good save. Mitchell Corsi goes route one over the top. Walker trying to get involved. She will stay on the back of Millie Turner, but the pressure doesn't do too much, although United happy to concede possession deep inside their own territory. McManus stumbled on the ball. Got to pick an option eventually. Might have been the wrong one. So Walker didn't really have a chance to get onto it at all, the former Everton and Liverpool forward. Joined last season from Everton. Hasn't scored though since October 18 in the WSL. It's Claudia Walker. 24-year-old would love that to change this afternoon. Closing down there by Green, and that's physical from Walker, but fair! 1-1. And it is that rare goal that she hasn't had in the WSL since 2018 that brings Birmingham level. Great physicality from the forward, and the persistence paid off. She tucked it home past the keeper. Well, you were worried when Birmingham conceded early, but there is certainly some fight in this side. First time that United have really looked exposed and out of control in this game. So they look to retake the advantage quickly. Hansen gives it inside. Good work by her and Toon once more. Hansen again That service from the flank, again looking threatening. They do ensure that there are plenty of bodies to aim at as well. 3 red shirts for Kirsty Hansen to try and pick out. I think that's Harriet Scott just getting back to her feet inside the penalty area. She did her defensive duties. A player who has been a regular for Birmingham City since she joined back in 2018. Persistence again as Murray tries to lead the charge. She's got support to her left. She finds Kelly. It's behind for a goal kick rather than the corner that Birmingham were hoping for. Lovely step to get away from the challenges in the heart of the pitch. A good effort from Toon that wasn't far away. Just sliding off the outside of the right boot. Just sent it away from that left-hand post of the keeper. Obviously, we had the premature end to last season because of the pandemic. But United were certainly one of the stronger sides in the WSL in their first ever season in the top flight last year. Of course, got promotion from the Championship at their first attempt in 2018-19 campaign. Solid on the road as well before the end of last season, unbeaten in their last 4 away in all competitions coming into this game, drawing 2 and winning 2. Last loss was that surprise loss against West Ham last December. These two sides never actually got to play each other last season. Ties were cancelled because of the pandemic. First meeting in the top flight of Birmingham City and Manchester United. Have met in the WSL Cup though, however, in 2019. Birmingham losing on home soil 3-1 in that competition. Holloway with the long throw. Just poached away from Emma Kelly. Very little space in those sorts of positions for Birmingham City for the majority of the opening 20 minutes or so. There's another chance here from distance. As Walker goes looking for her second, but it's straight down the throat of the keeper once again. Had the space and the opportunity, was worth pulling the trigger. Shepherded out of play as McManus tries to use that long ball. Easily nodded forward by Smith. Helped on by Toon. Can't find a teammate. played on the ball by Georgia Broom. Corsi goes long. Something for Mailing to chase. Haven't seen her venturing too far forward, Sarah Mailing, so far. Green couldn't bring it under control. It's quite frantic in the middle of the park. Manus, good distribution. Shout for handball. Comes off the arm of Elatoun. Slightly aimless from Corsi. Here's McManus. Another one on the field today who has been called up to the England side. Recalled again. Some first call-ups for some of her Manchester United teammates as well. Millie Turner, Elatoun, Katie Zellum. The relationship that McManus and Turner have together might be beneficial at an international level as well as, of course, their club level. Just a bit of confusion at the back as well, as Hampton wasn't sure whether she was going to take that or not. Her defender intervened in the end. A little bit of luck as it ricochets away from Green, but finds a teammate, and Murray sends it wide and looks to feed it into the path of the fullback Holloway. That's just gone out of play, I think, on this near side. Again, Smith needs an option here from the throw. Birmingham doing a really good job off the ball. It's not the easiest clearance either from the keeper. This is great energy off the ball suddenly from Birmingham. It might be difficult actually to maintain in these warm conditions. Of course, the country feeling the heat perhaps for the last time this summer. Play continues, nothing given as Emma Kelly tries to be the opportunist, and then she's scythed down. She's feeling the brunt of that challenge as well. As Kirsty Hansen just ended up having a chop at the legs. She's going to need a bit of help. This would be certainly frustrating for the 23-year-old who, just in the last few minutes or so, has come into the game a little more. As Birmingham have found a bit of joy down their left flank. I'll be very pleased to be in the position they're in, though, and to have come back from conceding early. Gives us a moment just to have a look at the substitutes bench. Jamie Lee Napier perhaps could come in. Constance Schofield as well, both of those wide attacking players. Abby Grant, the midfielder on the bench for Birmingham. Gemma Lawley, Chloe McCarran, Destiny Toussaint. Looks like she'll limp on for the moment. But the walk down the sideline has been done a little gingerly. That'll be a better sign. In the meantime, there's a set piece waiting to be taken. Right into the 6-yard box, it's an own goal. I think the last touch was off McManus, but a whipped-in delivery bamboozles the United defence. And Birmingham have flipped the script. Really good delivery, that one from Mailing. Just flung into the heart of the 6-yard box and a stray leg guiding it past their own keeper from McManus.
Second goal scored for the Blues, number 3, Harriet Scott.
It's been awarded to Harriet Scott, who was the one closest to it. I was sure it came off a Manchester United defender, particularly in the way everybody started celebrating with the set-piece taker. Doesn't matter who scored it, Birmingham had the lead. We try and get confirmation of exactly who has been credited with the goal. As soon as we can. Is there a reply from United? I'm just giving it wide, trying to take up a position just on the edge of the centre circle to receive the ball back. Press down the left flank, plenty of time and space to pick out Toon inside the box, trying to shift it onto that left peg. Well blocked the second attack. There'll be a third to come from the corner. Flung into the box. Header can't be connected with by Turner, who seems to be the threat for United at those set pieces. Twice now the ball has been played towards her, and twice she's impeded the defender. Signed a new deal this week with Manchester United to Millie Turner. There's been a lot of business done by the Red Devils in the last 7 days or so. Could argue she took a bit of a risk with her career, stepping down into the Championship to play with United after her time with the likes of Everton and Bristol City. It's paid off though. This is a very strong United side that is very ambitious in the WSL and the women's game in general. Certainly got the resources, and they've got bags of talent in this side. And of course led by somewhat of a legend, Casey Stoney. Well dealt with as Molly Green brings it away from danger. However, for Murray to go with it, but blue shirts able to retake possession with cool, calm heads. That's a lovely little flick by Kelly, who's back moving well. Slightly more awkward from Rebecca Holloway. Flags up against Leah Gelton on that far side. Good control by Gronin, although we haven't seen too much of Jackie Gronin on the ball. That's out of play from Honor Battle. Pull back, in fact, excuse me, for the infringement. Abby McManus. Battle helping it on. It's a nice idea from Jane Ross, just with the ball bouncing in front of her. You can see what she was trying to do, take on that looping right foot shot to try and send the ball over the head of Hampton. In terms of looking for an equaliser, United haven't exactly been blazing all guns forward. Birmingham certainly standing their ground and holding on to their advantage at the moment. Control by Emma Kelly, helped out by Murray. Plenty of time for McManus. Smith. No further. Toon steps away from one. Finds Ross. Good defending by Rachel Coursey, though, to ensure she got in front of Ross, although the clearance not great. Hansen back on it, but only momentarily. Not the best clearance from Molly Green, who's being encouraged to turn and just move upfield by her teammates and get it forward. United can restart inside the Birmingham half. It's the fullback battle. Gelton trying to get away from the two that were around her, but Birmingham happy to try and snuff her out at every opportunity. Optimistic pass asking a lot. Millie Turner's back there to mop up the danger. United will restart once more. We tick towards the interval. Thoroughly entertaining affair so far in this first half. And there is certainly more to come, you feel. Toon. Trying to dance away from the challenges, but good defending by Mailing. Struck from the edge of the box. Toon onto the loose ball. Strong challenge from Green, who will feel she took the ball. As to her teammates. But a free kick given. Just wonder if she caught Ella Toon before she took the ball slightly. It's a dangerous position for a set piece. Zellum looks like she fancies it, the captain. Will be the captain. It will be a wonderful goal. Leading by example to get her side back on level terms, Katie Zellum. An excellent set piece that Hampton got nowhere near. Honours even once again, 4 goals in this first half. Coursey. Got it back forward once again. Collected and dealt with by Gronin. Battle. Sends it out to Galton. He's able to get away from a marker this time. Free kick given. There was some contact as Galton just got around a marker.
Second goal for Manchester United, 10, Katie Zellum.
That's really frustrating for the 26-year-old winger. He felt she was in behind and bearing down on goal. It's the right idea with the crossfield ball, looking for Holloway. It just didn't quite have the legs to get there. Lovely turn by Green. Drew in the challenge from the Dutch woman. Murray lifts it forward, looking for Walker. He's gone quiet, really, since their goal. And just after it, in the meantime, Toon trying to feed it into the gap. Back to the keeper. Hampton just lifts it away. Lucy Wick did really well to contort her body into a position to be able to keep that going. Again, shifted into the space for Hansen. Looks to take on her marker once more. Holloway keeps her at bay. She's got support as well. Smith gets past one. Trying to go around another. Murray's able to do just about enough. She can't quite clear the lines just yet. Away by Hampton. Green. Murray. Might be a chance here for Birmingham if they can inject some pace into this. Just trying to thread the needle into the run of Walker in behind the defence. Those are the little opportunities that the home side would love to try and take. You can hear from the United dugout that they're encouraging their Spanish fullback to push forward. Made her debut for the club last week, and she'd like to improve on what was a very good performance settling into life in English football on a battle. Hoisted over the top. Something for Walker to chase and then try and hold up and hope she can get something out of the situation. She almost found a teammate in the end, despite being bundled over to the deck. They have too many blue shirts committed forward as United come back the other way. Gelton. Harriet Scott standing her ground, doing it unfairly. Quick one to Gelton. Turns away from Scott. Lovely ball across goal. Not cleanly hit though by Hansen. Just moving away from goal slightly and coming across to it. Wasn't an easy one to take, particularly with the marker hanging off her right shoulder. Just miscuing it. To the great relief, I'm sure, of Hannah Hampton. Georgia Broom. Up and over the top from Scott. It's in between both Green and Mailing. Molly Green tricked down to the deck. Bodies coming forward. Just see Scott there making her way into the penalty area. Lucy Whitt lurking on the edge of the box. Green gets it short. Can't find a teammate. McManus. Not been given too much time suddenly, McManus, and particularly Kirsty Smith as well. Once they get to the halfway line, seems to be somebody in blue that will come and close down. Just over hit from Hampton. Long throw from Smith, but it just can't find Hansen. Good footwork again from Emma Kelly. Very well played, that by Walker. Is there a chance to break in behind? The flag's up on the far side. Much to the frustration of the right winger, Sarah Mailing. Two centre-backs exchanging passes before eventually Turner ventures further forward. That's out of play. Getting into the last minute or so of this first half. Considering some of the big results elsewhere in the WSL this weekend so far, it's not going to plan for Manchester United as they look to try and make a similar sort of splash this weekend. So far, it's an excellent performance from the home side. Another throw. Scott finds an option in Walker. And this will be fine for Birmingham City. Looking for Walker again, couldn't be found. Well played though by Murray just to get it back to Scott. Really good turn that from Georgia Broom. Holloway. Good work by Emma Kelly. She's just shepherded it away from it. McManus with that experience. Controlled by Ross, who's now hanging all over Rachel Corsi. And that is the half-time whistle. 4 goals and honours even at the interval. These two sides have put on a thoroughly entertaining affair. Jane Ross opening the scoring after 5 minutes before Claudia Walker pulled Birmingham back level. After just 14 minutes, an own goal from Abby McManus was problematic for Manchester United as Birmingham took the lead on 26 minutes, but 10 minutes later a fine free kick from Katie Zellum restored parity, and that's how it stands at the interval. It's Birmingham City 2, Manchester United 2.